All right, so in today's video, this is why women prefer men who lie to them when dating. Some of you might hear that and you might go, oh my gosh, is that actually how it is? Do women actually prefer men who lie to them? Isn't that considered bad? Isn't that considered bad behavior? I'm going to help you solve all of this. Now, we also just crossed over 1,620 guys inside of our community. I am helping these guys learn, understand, and master the language of women at an even deeper level, and I want you to have that process in your dating life too. So be sure to join us after today's video is over. Let's dive in. Now, you might hear this title, Why Women Prefer Men Who Lie to Them When Dating, and you might think, that does not sound correct. Well, I'm here to give you the truth. All forms of good behavior is typically looked at as weakness and will result in a decrease in her romantic interest towards you. Long story short, telling the truth makes her not want to sleep with you. Now you might be saying, well, why would that be? Isn't telling the truth good? Here's what actually happens. Overall, most people would consider lying to be bad, okay? Lying is also considered bad. But here's what you have to remember. Women's emotions are also opposite to your logic. So to them, bad usually equals good in their eyes. Think about that for a second. To a woman that you're dating, bad typically equals good. And once you're bad in some way, shape, or form, or have a bad trait, now this is the man that she decides to invest emotionally into. So everything that makes logical sense on paper to have a healthy relationship that is real will typically turn them off, okay, and they will typically leave you. Now, here's the funniest thing about this. Oftentimes, okay, when this relationship dissolves, she will often tell her friends that you're controlling or you're mean, even if you were a great guy. That is typically what will happen. Meanwhile, the guy who is actually bad or has negative traits, she will repetitively make excuses for him and only look at the good traits that she convinces herself that he has. So, one of the most important things when it comes to a woman falling in love with a man is when his words don't match his actions and she cannot read him. Think about that for a second. When his words don't match his actions and she can't read him, now she falls in love. So, she finds this emotionally stimulating. Okay? She finds this to give her a lot of emotional stimulation because she'll see if she can change him. She'll say, well, he's a liar. How do I make him into an honest man? Meanwhile, if you gave her an honest man, that's not fun enough. That will become boring. That will become routine. It's like that relationship is already over because she already knows how it will end. And how it will end is her leaving him because he was good. So, she wants to see if she can change him. She'll also make excuses for his lying or his bad behavior because she feels that she can help him or she feels like she can get him to change for the better. Think about that for a second. So a lot of men, they have these beliefs like women want to bring out their femininity or their nurturing side, but women don't typically do that unless there's a problem. And this is why they fall in love for problematic men who typically create drama in the relationship. So she'll also make excuses for his lying or his bad behavior because she feels like she can help him or she feels like she can get him to change for the better. Now, all of her amazing feminine, loving, and nurturing traits that she has will only be reserved. Okay, stick with me for a second. These will only be reserved for bad men who appear to be broken. Meanwhile, everybody else is going to try to tell you that it comes down to being high status or high value. Meanwhile, everybody else is going to tell you that it comes to, being a good man who's high status with a lot of followers and a lot of money, and that's what's going to make her want to reciprocate that interest and put effort into the relationship. It couldn't be further from the truth. It's all wrong. All of it is wrong. When you look at how this actually plays out in your own dating life, and truthfully, what I believe is probably most men don't have enough dating experiences to actually see these things for themselves. They have to actually go through this in real life, just like I've had to. These feminine, loving, nurturing traits will only be reserved for bad men who appear to be broken. Rarely are those traits given to men who are high status or men who appear like they're already perfect. Those types of guys don't get any of her feminine traits or love that she wants to give to him. Okay? Keep that in mind. So all the traits that women claim that they dislike about men, like, oh, he creates drama, he's lying, he never tells me the truth, he cheats on me. All of these traits that women claim that they dislike about men, these are the men that they are loyal to and will continue to keep dating. So you have to remember this. If women are complaining about these traits, they are complaining about these traits because they decided to date these guys in the first place. That's what you have to remember. So instead of just saying, oh, she made a bad decision and dated the wrong guy, you have to actually ask yourself, well, what was the underlying reasons why she decided to date him and ghost all of the good guys in the first place? Okay? So you'll notice that even if they claim they don't like these traits that you would consider bad, or even that she considers bad, right? You'll notice that even if they claim they don't like these traits, they won't leave. So you have to always look at where her actions go. And where her actions go tells you that if she doesn't leave, there's something about this guy that she likes. Okay? So the conversation is always this, okay? It's always, what do I got to do? Okay, what do I got to do to change him so he acts better? This is what she says. She says, what do I have to do to change him so he acts better? Do I need to send him a text message that says good morning? Do I need to make dinner with him? Do I need to give him a hug? These are all the things that she will do to men who appear to be bad or broken, okay? Or to men who lie. So, here's what you have to know as well. She will only give effort to a man who does not love her. She will continue to sleep with him because she assumes that if she doesn't, he will leave. And on top of that, all of the other men that she could have who would have treated her really well from the beginning, she won't even text those guys back. She won't even give them a text message back. Okay? So everybody out there telling you looks, money, status is the answer, this is rarely it. Very rarely do those things actually play a role into her emotions when it comes to who she decides to invest into. And no matter how that makes you feel, you really just have to accept it because you're going to watch these things play out in your own dating life as well, just like I have had to do or just like every guy has to do. But it takes a certain level of wisdom and competency to actually learn this. You have to really learn this. And nobody probably ever taught you this, so I decided to. And then on top of that, I created a community with over 1,600 guys in it. And we've been growing this community and we've been helping them learn the language of women and see that process. So I want you to see that too. Like a week or two ago, we were only at like 1,500 members and now we're already at 1,600. So I think that that's pretty cool. Now, here's what you have to know. Telling a woman the truth basically says, yes, you and I are on the same level of attractiveness when it comes to our dating value. That's what it says when you tell a woman the truth. When she sees an honest man in front of her, she looks at him and goes, look at him take me seriously. Look at him take me seriously. We are probably on the same level when it comes to our own dating value, and now hypergamy is not satisfied. Think about that for a second. Telling a woman the truth basically says, yes, you and I are on the same level when it comes to our dating value. When in reality, she wants to feel like you could do better than her, and she wants to feel like you are the prize. This is what she wants to feel. So here's my conclusion, okay? This is just my thoughts with this. Here's my conclusion. I personally believe that telling the truth does not satisfy hypergamy. Women seem to only respect men who play their own game when it comes to relationships, and women only consider a man high value, okay, if he remains detached. If you do those three things that I just told you right there, you're going to have a lot better success than most guys. So, these are the main rules to remember when it comes to this video, okay? First and foremost, any kind of updates on your day, oh, hey, my day's going really good, we went to this restaurant for lunch, any kind of check-in text messages where you're checking in with her or you're calling her to see what she's up to, okay? Or you're letting her know what your plans are for the weekend or what you're going to do after work or anything like that. Being honest about what you're doing okay, or being honest about how you feel in the relationship, this signals weakness or this signals weak behavior in the eyes of most women, and they will most likely leave you. This is what's going to happen. They will most likely leave you. So the same rules apply no matter who you're dating. There's a lot of guys that are going to say, but Casey, she's different. I think that because she was from a 2-parent household and she went to church a lot, that makes her different. But Casey, I think that she's different because she has a stable job. But Casey, I think she's different because she has a 4-year degree from a really good college. She's not.